I'll have to start by apologising for some of the audio on this. I did have a lav mic on, you know, a lapel mic, but it didn't record properly through that, so a lot of it's voiceover, but bear with it.
Oh, good morning, well, afternoon. More afternoon in England than it is here in Paris. This is the SEMA show, so I'm going to do a walk round, bit of chit chat, bit of waffle, and show some of the new innovations. That super view's very wide, isn't it? There you go. So let's have a look. Just standing right outside the Samson and Pichon stand, so have a wander through. They've got a few new bits and pieces, so let's just go and have a look.
Okay, so look in here, this is the Samson Pichon stand. So these are some of the Samson applicators. So these are like a shallow disc applicator where you've got a trailing shoe boot behind. So these would be a low invasion applicator. This one here with the larger disc, these are more for deeper application of slurry into crop residue and, you know, potentially standing crops as well. There's one of the applicators on the back of the slurry tanker. So just walking through the stand here, over towards this muck spreader up ahead. That's the PR lady there with the camera on the right hand side. So on the back of this spreader, Pichon have got a new system where you can have a sensor built into the back door of the muck spreader. You can see the chap there who's holding a sample up to the sensor. It's an NIR sensor, so that can analyse the properties of the manure, so whether it's got P and K, nitrogen, all of those things that you need to know about what you're doing with your manure. That can tell you that information. Over here, this is the slurry version, so that's the intelligent box which is built onto those tankers, and that's a little bit like the Harvest Lab system, dare I compare, where it'll analyse your liquid slurry and tell you what's in there. These chaps here are watching the screen. What this PG2 tanker is equipped with is, we'll go over here and take a quick look at the axle. You can see it's got an arrow above it there. So what this machine is fitted with is a hydraulic drive assist, so that drives that middle axle, drives the hub inside the hydraulic motor. I just clouted my head on that, which hurt. Health and safety report there. Just wandering over here to the Fendt stand. So latest gen 942, fully specced out, vario grip, all the wheel weights, flexible Trelleborg VF1060 tyres, but that's not new yet. I'm wondering when they're going to bring that new cab into that tractor. But anyway, here's the Fendt star of the show, the new 728. So this tractor is not just a stretch 724, it's got a 7.5 litre Sisu engine which has been built specifically for this tractor. This one's kitted out with aero grip as well, and these new large frame 700 series have the intelligent four-wheel drive system like the 10 series, so it's not just an in and out, it's actually thinking about what the tractor needs and how best to utilise the traction that the tractor can get.
This is the Gen 6 control interface, so this is what's found in the 700 series tractor. So this has been out for a while also, but this is the control stick for that machine with all the electronic implementation. Your mid-mount lever, so for your extra services, front linkage, that can all be done there. The forward reverse can also be done there, so you don't have to go back to this, and that's the screen. Inside the cab, this is nice because we've got this cab laid out. So this is the cab from the Gen 6 700 series, so you've got drop down screen there, main screen there, that's an armrest, and then the steering wheel, there's another screen. So you can have as much information on display as you want. Let's have a little wander and see what else they've got on the Fendt stand that's new and exciting.
Parce que nous connaissons ton travail, parce que nous comprenons l'agriculture.
720, not new, but that'll be a Gen 6 tractor. One of the smaller tractors. There's an old combi baler. Rally Tornado, if you like. Rogator sprayer.
N'exige pas seulement de la puissance musculaire et des machines efficaces et performantes, mais aussi de la réflexion tout au long de la chaîne. Et cela commence par la planification et l'organisation.
So there's a big show in Italy next week called EMA. This is Sima, that's EMA. So there's a few things missing, like Deutz-Fahr, so the STF tractors are not here. So, but what we do have is 175 anniversary 5S. So this is the new 5S. So it's just a facelifted tractor really. Same chassis, stage 5 engine, but brought in line with the model designation to meet up with the others. Square LED headlight, work lights, same as the 8S. Cab frame is the same though, so it's a facelifted version, but it's a nice tractor nonetheless. Big Q for the 8S, people are interested in that. It's a 305. Doesn't say Dyna VT. Don't know why they haven't brought a Dyna VT, because that's just come out. So this is the new Q series. This fills in that sort of space at the top of the T series bracket, which topped out at 250 horsepower. So the Qs go from 230 to 305. But I was just reading there that the 285 model boosts to 305 horsepower, but the 305 doesn't boost at all. So I think the smart money might be on a Q285. This is the cab, the operating platform for the T series and the Q series. So inside you've got the new sort of corner, so there's no dash on these anymore, so that's like very similar to some of the other Agco corner displays, Massey Ferguson shall we say, and these are the field start monitors which Massey and Valtra users are familiar with. Armrest, which isn't too new anymore. Okay, so this is the Trelleborg stand. So they've got a new piece of tech which is a sensor pack that goes inside the tyre. This feeds information back to the tractor so that the operator can see what the pressures are, what the temperature is, what the sort of shock loads are that are going through the tyre, so they can better ballast and set up the tractor with more effective tyre pressures for the job that they're doing, whether that's roading or field work. Quite clever. Okay, so this is the Trelleborg in new track we'll call it. It's an airless tyre technology, but it's not brand new technology. It's, you know, this idea has been around for a little while now, but it's definitely coming to the marketplace. So this is going to be ideal for the smaller tractors, more specialised really. It's not going to be a tyre that you put on a multi-purpose tractor that you go up and down the road with. This is it on the case tractor, so you can see there with the weight of a tractor on it, it's got quite a large footprint, so it runs like a VF tyre almost, but then you haven't got the worry of stress and friction on it. It's designed to do that. That's what it's for. So it's I think this technology is going to be much more useful in more specialist operations. I very much doubt we'll see many of these on general farm tractors. Okay, so this is, you know, you walk around an English stand, you'll see lots of trailer manufacturers and British engineering firms.
who make low loaders and bale trailers, and this is the French equivalent. So these are the typical what a French farmer wants: bale trailer, bogie front axle, smaller super single tyres, or I don't know if they're called super singles. They're road tyres, but they're smaller diameter, like you typically see on continental trucks. So that's your typical French engineering firm, I should imagine. And then just a bit further on, we've got another company. So this trailer would probably be illegal in the UK just because of the size of it. It's a huge dump trailer. You can see it's got active steering, active hydraulic suspension, which will keep the trailer level on undulations, massive central tipping ram. Just stick down a little bit there though. It's not below the axle, so you know, we'll let them have that. Up at the front, it's obviously built so it can be used by a variety of tractors, not just things with huge hydraulic capacity. So there's an oil tank and hydraulic pack which will power this trailer. And same company just behind where I'm standing now is their muck spreader. So again, big rear discharge muck spreader with spreading discs, be designed for your sort of biosolid market. Quite a heavy duty thing though. I like inside, look at these little brushes in here, that's good, isn't it? Stop it dribbling manure back underneath the trailer. That's clever, like that. I tell you what, they like a bag. They like a bag and a bucket at a French show. Get a bag of goodies and a bucket. Look at these lads here, look at this. Look at those bags and buckets there. Love it. So here's another manufacturer feeding equipment. So automatic feeder, robotic feeder. Oh, it's got a nice soft bumper, so it doesn't bump any cow's legs. Because obviously it's automated. So that's your automatic feeder system. So bed chains, quite an old-fashioned system, and beta bars, and then a cross conveyor. It's the Merlot stand. Don't see many of these. This is one of the big telehandlers, but it's on the BKT hard surface tyres, and it's the 45.11. So that's one of the big machines. 2-stage telescopic boom, 170 horsepower. Bit of a weapon, that, isn't it? Yeah, so just have a quick look around the Merlot stand. Merlot had a few updates last year, I think it was. I'll see if this machine's still using it. Someone's jumped in. Maybe this one has. This is a turbo farmer. Yeah. Oh, this has got an even newer lever in. So what Merlot have done is they've done their operator present functionality. I don't know if this lever has it because I haven't seen this lever before on the other agricultural spec machine, which I think this is. Yeah, it's an X-Spec, it's a turbo farmer. It knows when you have your hand on the lever, so you can't fool it because it's got sensors in there that know that it's a human hand, so you can't bump it with your elbow.
I'm not sure I understand.
I didn't ask you anything, Siri. So you can't bump the lever with your elbow or anything like that. You actually have to physically hold on to the lever to activate it, which is quite clever. But the thing I did notice was you could reach in, hold on to the lever and still move it. So I think there's not an operator present switch on the machine that I saw and tested. So Merlot are an Italian manufacturer. They've been making telehandlers for a long time, construction equipment. But they've got a lot of, they've got a wide range of size of machines, like this little tiny one. Tiny farmer series. Slightly bigger model there. This is new. I don't know what's new about it. This is the lever I'm familiar with. This is the lever that I've seen before. So when you hold onto the lever, this lights up. So it says operator present,
right, and unlocks the system, which is quite clever. Did see this forestry mulcher the other day, which there is one in the UK, so I'm going to try and find out where it is. But it's got a FAE mulching head on, which is the fixed tooth mulcher, which will chew through pretty much anything really. Earth, roots, everything. So watch out, I'm go. So this is a dedicated power unit for that application. You could probably put chains, forestry chains on the wheels to get traction if you had some steep terrain to go into, but it's a completely armoured machine. It's like an agricultural tank almost. So we've got this, Merlot always used to have the ring of steel, what they used to call the ring of steel, and this tube used to be solid, and it was about that big instead of that big, and it went all the way around the machine on the very old telehandlers, but they've implemented some of that manufacturing into this machine. Yeah, it's got a winch on the back as well, so that's a fairly unique looking machine. All hydrostatic drive from the front all the way through, wheels, everything's hydrostatically driven on this machine.
Okay, so just wandering over to the Emily stand here. So Emily, a French manufacturer of attachments and bale handling equipment. This is their new machine. Just looks like a bale shredder, which it ultimately is, but it's got an automatic feed load monitoring system built into it. So if we look in here, yeah, that's one of the new features. So it's got a set of knives that come in and cut your film or your string underneath the bale, and you can pull it up over the top, which is a nice idea. Inside, it measures the impeller speed. I'm turning my hand the wrong way. Yeah, that's the right way. The impeller speed, and if it senses it slowing down, it backs up the bed chains, so it stops it overloading and causing a stall or a blockage inside the machine. So it learns, and if it finds that load too much after 2 attempts, 3 attempts actually, it slows down the feed. So if you've gone from straw and then you put a bale of silage into it, it moderates the load on the bed, which is a useful feature, which people who use these will greatly appreciate, I'm sure. It will also reverse it out as well if it gets overloaded. And at the back here, it's got these new arms, so these allow you to reverse into a bale. They drop down, and then you can lift the bale up, so you haven't got to get out and put chains on. So theoretically, you could back into it, load your bale up, cut your strings, then get out, pull the strings and the wrap off. Okay, this is a nice product here. You don't see many of these in the UK, but it's a bucket. It's got bed chains in the bottom and a rotor there, and it's loader mounted. You could probably put it on the back of a tractor if you really wanted to, but it's loader mounted. It's got a reciprocating knife on the top, so you can cut out a block of silage.
I don't know what bags they sell. Buckets and attachments. They're obviously very popular. Either that, they've got good sandwiches, one or the other.
Okay, so on the McHale stand here, there's the V8 baler, one of the round bale wrappers. Just walking through the stand here, that's the McHale rake. Not seeing many of them about. New V6 baler, that's been updated. Various improvements on that, fully automatic baling operation now. And going over here, just wandering through the stand, to the Fusion 4. So the Fusion 4 is now sort of fully automatic, isobus operated. Got a few updates on that machine. but I think it's largely control based. So these have always been popular in the UK. A lot of North Wales lads like these machines because they're small and manoeuvrable. A lot smaller footprint than some of the other combi balers. So yeah, Fusion 4 update I'm sure will be welcome. This is a plastic on plastic machine, as you can see. There's the terminal that you get if you don't have an Isobus tractor, Isobus enabled tractor. So there's plastic binding. It's a fully automatic baler now. Don't know how long that's been the case, but automatic drop floor and knife withdrawal for baling at the end of the bale. So this is the grain checker on the CR range of combines. I'm sure it will be translated across the other range of combines as well. But looking at this machine, they analyse the sample, so it's actually looking at the sample going into the tank, so cracked grains, chaff, all that other rubbish. So that's the elevator that goes up and drops into the bubble up auger, which then fills the tank. And down at the bottom here we've got this sensor pack. So this is the bit that's looking at the sample of corn, so that's checking for, like I say, damaged grains, straw in the sample, and that's going to feed back to the operator what's going on inside the machine and how we can best optimize it for a better sample. Looking at the CX machine, so this is a slightly different machine than I typically would run into in the UK. So this is the Everest edition. You can see how it's jacked up there. Its rear axle's got much more movement. That's the separation system inside that combine. So it's a straw walker machine, and you can see how much articulation the axles have got. So that will keep the sieves and straw walkers as best it can to an optimum angle within reason, obviously, but for working on quite steep hills, combines don't like going uphill. It makes them lose corn out of the back. So look, you can even walk underneath this machine. See how the front axle isn't really an axle anymore, it's more of a set of motors which drive the wheels. You can see that one's right down, that one's right up. Okay, so this is the McDon Draper Flex header. This is on the 1090 CR rotary machine, but some of the manufacturers offer their own flex header with the belts inside for getting a really good feed in various crops. So this is actually the McDon header, which is bought. You can buy it as an OEM fit on the New Holland combine, so you could buy it as a complete package. I'm going to finish off this section now with this New Holland combine and break these videos up because there's too much to put into one video. So this is now sort of 25 minutes long, so we'll finish it here for this section of the Sima show. Please comment, rate and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thank you.